Alright, welcome back to another video. Essentially in this video I'm just gonna show off my new mod I made. It's called Medieval Munitions, and it just adds a few nice medieval weapons. So this mod is actually for 1.16.5 and 1.20.1, so if you play any of those Minecraft versions, you can actually play this mod. So if we go to the creative tab, there's a few weapons. Don't mind these are from one of my other mods. But yeah, so it goes from here all the way to here. So then this is the rest of my other mods. But yeah, so here it is. So the first weapon that I made is the Halberd. It's a pretty large weapon, as you can see. It does 13 attack damage and it has reach 2. And also it's a two-handed weapon, which is a unique trait, because if you want to shield or something, you can't, because then you have weakness, mine fatigue, and hunger. So you essentially do like no damage, you can't really mine anything, you can't really do anything, and you're also starving to death. So if you don't take the shield out of your hand and you try to use the weapon, you're gonna starve, and also it's gonna do like no damage. So yeah, you cannot have a shield, and if you take out the shield or anything in your offhand, it'll work properly. So yeah, that's how the two-handed weapon perk works. So yeah, here's the next weapon. It's called the pike. So it's a really long weapon with reach 3, so more than the last one. Chest damage bonus, so it does extra damage to enemies without chest armor. But to be honest, I don't know if that actually like does anything. I don't know if it works. Like, I tried to fix it so that it like sets your invulnerability time to 0 and then deals the damage, but for some reason that doesn't work. So I actually have no idea if the chest damage bonus or the other damage bonuses actually even work, but don't mind that. But anyways, I forgot to tell you, these have recipes. So the recipe for the halberd is just steel ingots and a weapon pole, which is made like this. And if you're curious how steel is made, well, it's made like this. So you smelt down hardened iron ingot, which is made like this. So that's how you make steel, which is an essential material in this mod. So yeah, that's how you make the glaive right there. And then this is how you make the pike. So it takes steel, 2 weapon poles, and some steel nuggets. Alright, the next one's a battle axe. This one's pretty strong. Again, chest damage bonus, it might not work. Same with the armorless damage bonus, by the way. But this one has sweep, which this one's actually really cool. Okay, look at this one. This one's really cool. So you have a battle axe, right? It has sweep 1. Okay, it does damage to the nearby enemies. Or, well, I guess not enemies, but chickens. But, so yeah, it's really cool. It does 25% of the damage to the nearby enemies, because it's only sweep 1. Sweep 2 does 50%, and so on. So yeah, the battle axe is crafted like this with steel and a weapon handle, which is just made like this. This one, the rapier, this might be the worst weapon actually in the mod pack, I'm not gonna lie, because it does 6 damage and 2.4 attack speed, which is eh. And again, the chest damage bonus, which doesn't really do anything, but it's still a good weapon. It's definitely better than a diamond sword. And yeah, it's crafted like this. The next one is the saber. This is actually a really good one. So it has reach 1 on it. It has an armorless damage bonus, which I don't know if it actually works or not. Damage absorption 1. Oh, this one actually does work. So let's look at it. It gives you armor. So I have 3 armor. If I take it in my hand, I don't have the armor. So this one gives you 3 armor. But if you take damage, it actually deals damage to the weapon. So you don't want to... This thing can get destroyed really fast if you're taking a lot of damage, because it always takes 3 damage, no matter how much damage you take. But that compensates for the armor it gives you. So yeah, that's how damage absorption works, and it's pretty cool. You craft it just like this, with steel and then steel nugget. The next one is probably my favorite weapon. This is the Warhammer. This thing's a chunker. So it has armorless damage bonus. Again, I don't know if it actually works. Nauseous blows. So this one's cool. It essentially gives nausea to the enemy that you hit. So a player's is really the only thing it's good against, or that like the nauseous blows actually does anything against. But if they have a head armor, it doesn't actually work. And then powerful knockback, which is just really fun. Let's just take a look at the knockback real quick. Boom! Oh, that guy just got launched off a cliff. This thing can have a decent amount of knockback. I think it's like plus like 3 knockback or something, which is pretty good, especially if you're sprinting. Look at that knockback. But yeah, that's what it does. It has 11 attack damage, so it might be the best weapon. It's crafted just like this with a ton of steel. And if you're wondering why there's a second steel, that's because of my other mod, Richy's Foundation, which you should check out, by the way. But anyways, the next sword is the Kriegsmesser, which also, I'd say this is the best one by like a lot. But the reason it's the best is because it requires a lot of steel, which this stuff is not like the easiest to get. But it's crafted like this, kind of similar to the rapier, but with blocks instead of ingots, and then an ingot right here. But yeah. So this thing's crafted, it takes a lot to do, but it has insane stuff. Reach 1, armor damage bonus, which I don't really know if it works, damage absorption 2, so it gives +6 armor, but the durability is still the same. The cost of the durability is still the same. It's 3 every time you take damage. And sweep 2, which is just like a bigger radius than the other one. Or wait, yeah, it's a slightly bigger radius, so you might actually not notice it, but it does more damage, 50%. So it's double the damage dealt to the ones that take the sweeping. But yeah, it's a really good weapon, and it's up. I say it's like not that big. I don't know. Yeah, it's reach 1. Okay, that makes. The next melee weapon is the glaive. This thing's pretty big, also. So it does 11.5 damage, 0.9 attack speed. So the glaive is crafted like this with 2 steel on here, weapon pull and weapon handle. So it has reach 2 and sweep 2. It's a 2-handed weapon, of course, just like the pike and the halberd. The chest damage ones, I don't know if it actually works. And yeah, it's a pretty good weapon. I'd say this is a solid weapon choice. I'd say it's around the middle of how good all the weapons are. Like if I were to rank them, I'd say the worst is either the rapier or the dagger, which we haven't gotten to yet, which I guess we'll just do it right now. So, yeah, here it is, the dagger. Damage absorption 1, so it's alright. But then short-handed. So you actually lose reaches in this thing. That is how bad it is, or how short it is. It's crafted just like this, so it's a really, like, simple weapon, and it's the cheapest weapon. But yeah, it does 5 attack damage and has 4 attack speed, so it's a really speedy weapon. But it's pretty weak. I'd say it's probably the worst, and behind it is the rapier, which is also pretty bad. And then the rest are pretty great. Alright, now we're getting onto the ranged weapons, or weapon, I should say. There's only one, it's the shortbow. I might add, like, a heavy crossbow and a longbow in the future, but that's going to take a lot of work, so I don't know if I'm going to do that. If I get enough people to be like, yeah, do it, I might do it. But so yeah, so just a bow. It's literally just a bow, but it draws faster than normal, so you can just, like, fire these things off. I just hit him. I just killed him over there. I'm kind of cracked at this game, I guess, but it's crafted like this. So, 2 string, 3 sticks, pretty simple. It has fast draw, so it quickly draws back, so you can just, like, charge this thing up. You can just start launching these things. But it has weak arrows. So, the arrows do, I think, a little bit less damage than normal, but it's not a ton less. It might be, like, 1 or 2 damage less. I'm not 100% sure how the damage works. But yeah, it's pretty good. I just killed another one. How am I so good at this? This bow supports, like, 4 enchantments, so that would be Power, Punch, Flame, and Infinity. Those are the 4 enchantments this supports, and I guess technically Mending, because that automatically works. But yeah, these are the 4 enchantments that it supports, so, you know, I don't think Unbreaking will work on this thing, or any other bow enchantments, just those 4. And now we're out of weapons. They're technically not out of weapons, but yeah, so we have a shield, which is, I guess you can technically say it's a weapon. It's just a shield, but for some reason it doesn't actually take damage when you use it. I have no idea why, but I guess that's how it works. But yeah, it says a shield bash, which is kind of similar to the hammer. You can just whack them far away. It's a little bit less potent than the hammer, but it still does, like, hit them back. And yeah, it's just a pretty great shield, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know, it's just a great shield. And how you craft it, it was with 2 logs and also steel ingots just around, so it's pretty expensive. But I'd say it's actually worth it. And here's the next weapon, which is a steel shield, but this one's actually spiked. So if you hold it out, it looks pretty deadly. It may look a little bit weird, but I think it looks good enough. You can definitely tell what it's supposed to be. How you craft it is with a steel shield and then 4 steel spikes, which are honestly a really cool thing. So you craft 3 of them like this. So they're essentially 1 iron ingot each, or steel ingot, sorry. So yeah, here's the steel spikes. Let me just grab some of those. So look at this. You can literally place them down on the ground. They're literally like a trap. And if you walk on it like this, it literally damages you. So I don't want to die right now. But it does have the custom death message, I think. Or at least in 1.20.1. 1.16.5 is pretty buggy because MCreator is just a little bit buggy in that version. But yeah, these are like actually like a defense item for your base. So they have more than just one use. But yeah, so you can place them on the shield, which this has shield bash, just like the other shield. And it also has spiky plate, which is, the plate is like the thing on the front of your shield, like the front part of your shield. And so the shield acts as a weapon, so you can actually attack with this, and it does a decent amount of damage, like 5 or 6 or something like that. And then, and when enemies attack you, they actually take damage. So you can just sit there, like a riot shielder, you know, like what is it, the stereotype in like shooting games, like the riot shielder that just sits there with a riot shield the whole time. You can basically just be that in Minecraft now. So if enemies hit you, they take damage. Even if they shoot you with an arrow and the arrow doesn't bounce back to them, they still take damage. So it's like a thorns, basically. Which I know it doesn't really make sense, but you know, whatever. Does Minecraft really make sense after all? Yeah, I don't think so. The last thing in the mod that isn't a weapon is chainmail, which you can craft it like this, with 4 iron nuggets and a steel nugget in the middle. And you can just use it to craft chainmail armor. So yeah. So here's all the crafting materials and items in the mod. I guess this isn't really crafting material. Well, it is a crafting material. So that's all the items. So then here's all the melee weapons, unless you count the shield, which it technically is. We have the halberd, you have the pike, you have the battle axe, you have the rapier, sorry, the saber, the warhammer, the Kriegsmesser, the glaive, and the dagger. The best one, in my opinion, is the warhammer, or at least it's my favorite. I think the best is definitely the Kriegsmesser, but it's also the most expensive by a lot. And so yeah, that's all the melee weapons in the mod, unless you count the shield, of course. And you have the bow. Of course, it only supports the 4 enchantments I listed before. It's a little bit weaker. I'm gonna be honest, it's not perfect. For some reason, if you have 2 of them in your inventory, it also charges that one. But, you know, you don't need to know that. I mean, I just told you, so I guess you know. Yeah, so it's still a little bit buggy, because mcreator, I don't know how to code, so I use mcreator, which is a little bit limited. So, you know, it might be a little bit buggy, just like all my other mods. They might be a little bit, like, not 100% quality, like Minecraft level quality. But I think it's quite good quality still. It's still better than having no animation at all. So yeah, that's the short bow. Then you have the steel shield. And this thing, it's just a nice shield. I don't think it takes damage. Like, it actually has infinite durability. I don't think this one does. I have no idea what happened in the code there, but I might fix that in a later version if that's the case, which I'm pretty sure it is. So yeah, you have the steel shield, and then you have the spiked steel shield, which I'll actually show that in action, but yeah, it just deals damage to enemies when they attack you. Let's just do it. Look at that. Oh! Yeah, I forgot to tell you, it does the shield bash effect when you hit them. Like, when they hit you. So if you just, like, stand here with the shield out, he just comes out and then he gets cooked off. Like, look at that. What the heck? He just... Okay, I'm just knocking them all down. Let's actually test it. Oh, I know it does take damage. Just forget what I said about it not taking damage. It does take damage, okay? I think that might be the 1.16.5 version I'm thinking about. I'm not sure. Because right now I'm playing 1.20.1, which is obviously the better version. But yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, that's all my mod offers. It's all those pretty cool weapons. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this mod. You can use it for some cool mod packs. And for, I don't know, like, maybe fighting with your friends. That'd be pretty fun to do. Especially with the spike shield, just like trolling them. That'd be funny. But yeah, pretty awesome mod. And I'm pretty sure, in my opinion at least. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, see you in the next one. God bless you.